Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. If you're new, please like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the post notification bell, man. With that being said, let's get into the video. So today, we're going to be talking about self-pity on the behalf of how to become supercharged. Yeah, how to become supercharged. Like, Mufasa, how do you become supercharged? Well, when y'all think of supercharged, do y'all think about like a race car or something? You know, where you have to build up the engine, put the supercharger in, do a whole new fuel injection pump, or new starter, etc., new brakes, or new tires. What if I can tell you that on a biological level that you can become a humanized supercharger? Let that sink in for a second. We're literally not talking about supercars, but or superchargers, I should say. I can show y'all how to be supercharged on a biological level. So, what do I mean about supercharged? So, let's go into definition. And then from there, we're going to define some words and some terms to kind of break down what I mean about that. And then we're gonna go into the top 10 things as to what can make you into a supercharger you. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Supercharge. So, supercharge is a reference to something that is enhanced, intensified, or given extra energy or power. For example, an individual that's motivated, focused, and energized. So, let's say that, you know, you had a good night rest, you know, from a long day from work or whatever you was doing that took all your energy. You know, you went to bed early, you wake up, you're like, I feel relieved, I feel energized, I feel happy, I feel motivated, I feel all this good positive energy that's running through you. So with all that rest, you know, that de-stress, and you know, you recharge again, you took your break and all that, right? So that's what motivated a person to be focused, energized, and motivated to be able to power through the next day. You gotta get that early rest to get all the tiredness out of it. So today, I wanted to go into the 2 words that will make you a supercharger. So those 2 words are diligence and resilience. And I'm going to tell you why. So we'll go based on definition. Diligence is having or showing care and conscientiousness in one's work or duties. I'm going to say it again. Diligence is having or showing care and conscientiousness in one's work or duties. For example, you know, we just go talk about a person, you know, being in a gang or whatever. This is like the overall, just like life of the people, you know, that actually have been through that or whatever. And yeah, it's nothing to play with, literally. So for example, is when a person is in a gang, they have to be diligent on their movements to unjoin a gang or their lives is at stake. I'm going to say the example again. When a person is in a gang, they have to be diligent on their movements to unjoin a gang or their lives is at stake. So just real quickly, like a person that joins it, you know, been in a while, I jumped in, this and that, and all of that. So, you know, they got this and that or whatever, like they got all the little stripes, but now there's the person that's, you know, above here, you know, they probably like right here or in the middle or something. They have to diligently find a way to where they can make sacrifices to where they can actually get up out of it, or whatever the case may be, or you diligently have to get up out of something that causes you stress or causes you to be down or causing you to feel some type of way. You have to diligently do things so that way it won't come back to you and it won't cause any other further damage to your family, to yourself, or to your finances, or whatever case may be, in which you have to be diligent in. So that's why I use the example of a person, with the gang or whatever, because with that, it takes a lot for them to come out of it, and then it's a lot to deal with and things like that. Like, don't get it construed. I've not been in none of that or nothing. Like, I ain't been none of that. I don't do it. I don't recommend nobody for that. But I'm just using that as an example. The everyday universal things that people are facing every day in their lives. This is something very serious. People die behind this stuff every day. Hell, you ain't gotta be in no gang. People just dying regardless. But next, look at my notes here. So we're also going to go into resilience. We're going to define resilience. Resilient is able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. Say it again. Resilience is able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. An example is we're going to relate the example back to the diligence of the person being in the game. Like I said, it's universal. I don't protect any of it, but it's just real life examples of what people may or may not, what they may go through, I ain't gonna say may not, but most likely, you got some people that may. But a person who left the gang and moved to a different location became resilient due to escaping past temptations from the old location. So, meaning that when a person left the game and moved to a different location, they made that sacrifice through diligence to be able to move from there. And they became resilient due to escaping the past temptation from the old location by them recovering from a difficult condition. Meaning that the condition from their past life or their past experience with dealing with that stuff, they did the diligent work to get up out of there carefully, and now they're more resilient and they try to do things to where they're more careful and recover quickly from difficult conditions by just being away from it. When they see a particular thing or whatever, that triggers their mind as if they was in it, it's kind of hard for them to try to be up out of it. But because they remind themselves that, hey, I am in a new location, or I have done the part to where I'm in a new stage of my life, I cannot go back to that old ways. Or I cannot go back to what I used to do at that time when I was at the old location. Now I'm in a new location. I have to make certain changes. Right. So, the verses, the verse that stuck out the most, that I feel like, that's going to best benefit to one of the ways in how to become supercharged, or something to think about, in the way of how to become supercharged is, we're going to look into 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 20. So 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 20 states that, "For I fear lest when I come, I shall not find you such as I would, and that I shall be found unto you such as ye would not. Lest there be debates, envyings, wraths, strifes, backbitings, whisperings, swellings, and tumults." What I mean by that, the Most High hates seeing quarreling, jealousy, anger, selfishness, slander, gossip, conceit, and disorder. So all those things literally lead to self-pity, all because a certain thing don't either go your way, or you haven't necessarily made those changes to where you can make those things come your way by changing the way you think, changing your environment, and making sacrifices in which certain things will let you down in which you're trying to come up in life. These things won't make an individual supercharged, but yet causes deterioration of one's character due to acts of vice for temptation. Which vice for temptation, note this, which the vice for temptations is constantly giving into corruption of one thing due to lack of knowledge and or seeking change to elevate from self-pity. So, what I mean about vice for temptation is that when something is a vice, it's pretty much like some sort of corrupt behavior. Otherwise, terrorization. And temptation is something that you easily give into. That's hard to. Or you look at something and be like, oh, that's easy to do. Rather than. Other words, it's pretty much giving into like, I don't want to say lust, but more like, pleasure, to where something is like easy to give into, and you feel like it feels good or whatever, this and that, although you should not be doing it. Right? You just try to choose the easy way out, so that way, you won't, you feel like you won't make a change or things like that. So let's say a person has something that's going on in their lives to where they want to stop giving up, or they refuse to give up, I should say, like a cigarette, for example. This is an example. It's not those shade, this is not to do all this and that or try to make fun of nobody. No, this is not what this is about. So this, for example. So, like, let's say when a person is going through a stressful moment or a stressful time or whatever, or they've been in a stressful situation. So, in order for that person to feel like, in order to feel good again or to feel distressed, what they gonna do? They gonna take a cigarette break. Like, in my mind, this is stressful, and I want to calm myself down. So, the cigarette, is coming to my mind, and I want to go take a smoke. I'm gonna smoke, cigarette, and it's gonna help me talk through my problems. So it's gonna help me calm down, so that way I can say things. To me, that is a vice for temptation, because that vice is a bad habit, and a temptation because you already put that cigarette for the first time in the past. You now use that as a stress reliever, but although it is bad for your health, that is a pleasure, a negative pleasure at that, which causes corruption within the body and also within the mind. But this is an example. This is not something to, charge people on or whatever. You can live your life, do whatever you want to do. But hey, that's an example. So, with that being said, I am going to the top 10 ways to become supercharged. So, to note, the things people live by in contradiction of these can be living in the vice for temptation. Like I was saying earlier, the vice for temptation with the cigarette, that's an example that I gave. But that's just an example. So the top 10 ways to become supercharged. Number 1, adopt a growth mindset. Number 2, embrace accountability. Number 3, reframe the story. Number 4, visualize success. Number 5, take bold action. Number 6, find solutions. Number 7, inspiration is your company. Number 8, have self-compassion with elevated standards, meaning higher standards. Number 9, gain mental toughness. And last but not least, number 10, celebrate with small achievements. So before I go into all of this, pretty much if you're doing the thing, the opposite of these things that I just named, it's a possibility that you could be living in a viceful temptation. Meaning that you're giving the pleasure real quickly to wherever that feels good to you, knowing doggone well it does not feel good at all. You touch, it's just like you touching a hot stove. You know that doggone stove is hot because I don't know what. But at the same time, that thing, you just feel lazy to lift your hand up. But that stove is hot. You gonna lift your hand up eventually because you gonna be like, this is hot. But except you don't have that feeling in your hand, you just landing on that and your hand just turning black, burning up, hot. You have to go to the doctor, this and that. But you don't have no feeling in your hand. You just sitting it there and let it burn. But so this is just a side note to what the things overall that I've noticed that's going on, and also why a lot of men, mostly men, and even women, going through whatever, because of they're scared to go outside of what they know. They stick with what they know, but they're scared to go outside of the box of what they know to where it can help them grow, to help them be not only the better version, but also to help them be something very great or amount to higher things in life rather than, being in what they know or even lower. That could be hindering them or feel like they know everything. So there's a note that I want to, quickly say that I feel like that could be very detrimental to people in society amongst themselves. So here's the note. Most adults in America are stuck in their ways in which can prevent them from many opportunities to develop overall quality of life to making them better. I'll say it again. Most adults in America are stuck in their ways, which can prevent them from many opportunities to develop overall quality of life to making them better. So, what I'm saying is that most adults say, hey, I want to do this and do that, or, I want to make a change, this and that. But they decide to stick in their ways. They talk about they want to make a change, but they decide to stick in their ways because they so stuck in their ways and feel like, they watch the news or something, or they watch something that's keeping them down or whatever case may be. It can be anything. How they was raised in a certain environment, whether it's a low income environment, whether it's a suburbs or a downtown or whatever, anything in your environment, they carry that same mindset, which is a lot of average Americans do, carry that same mindset. So, I'm gonna say this. Imagine what your life would be like if you were to escape the box in which you have been caged in your whole life. Imagine the other things you can be doing. imagine other things you wish you could have done, and you got up there rather than listening to what you've been told, what's been said, or this and that. That's going to hold a lot of average Americans back, especially between the ages of 18 to 35, which in that age range, that is the moment of your life to where you can actually grow as a person, especially with men. Thing that causes a person to not necessarily grow or feel like they're stuck in a shell, or they feel like they can't do anything because they've been told negatively that they're not nothing, or this is the only way to make money, or this is the only way to live a good life, this and that. But overall, I'm telling you, hey, I don't know about the making money or whatever, but it's always ways or always room to improve as an individual, to where you can not only learn, but also you can have more knowledge than what you have, and have a full understanding. Life. So, with that being said, here are the 10 ways to become supercharged based on 10 things that I've named. So, I'm going to say them, and I'm breaking down, and I can say all these things that just go based on vice and temptation, which causing you to elevate being the better person in your life. So, top 10 ways to become supercharged. Number 1 is adopt a growth mindset. Find ways to grow as an individual. Meaning that if you've been told, if you have been living your whole life into what you know in your environment, this and that, try to think outside of the box. So try to find ways to get up out of that, or try to think of something to where you're not in the same spot as you was. Because a lot of times, it just is what it is. Like, a lot of people just stuck in their ways, like, I know everything, this and that. They'll be like, man, I don't need to change, man. And you talking some BS, you don't know what you're talking about, this and that. You don't believe me? Try it. You know what I'm saying? Don't knock it till you try it. Go change your life. You'll be like, dang, I didn't see it like this. Dang, I didn't see it like that. Look at, you can look into some coaches. Some people, be discriminating on one culture, this and that, or whatever. Learn stuff before you even make your judgment about it. And that's going to change your whole view about life, and get up out of that self-pitiness or them ways of you not want to explore it. Number 2, embrace accountability. Stop blaming outside factors and own up to actions and choices. So, if there's a wrongdoing that you're doing, for example, if you did something wrong, just don't blame the other people. Because all that's going to do is just go, once again, feel yourself pitiful. You're going to be that victim role and feel like, because I've just been my environment, this and that, and this is what I know, and that's self-pity bullshit. Your environment or your neighborhood ain't the whole world. It's a big world out there. It's just you've been trained and programmed that's your world. Get outside the box. I guarantee you might be happier than you ever been before. Number 3, reframe your story. See yourself a hero and not a victim. That's number 2. My man on number 2 actually. You're in a situation to where you feel like, you've been down or whatever. See yourself as a hero. Be like, hey, Instead of me being like, oh man, like this and that, like my mom been downhill, you know, this and that, or my mom hadn't been able to make money to where I can do certain things or I can live a certain life or whatever. Instead, turn that shit around, you know? Make it to like, hey, although my mom was downhill, you know, I'm able to get up out of here, get up out of this situation, or get up out of whatever it is that, you know, that you're facing. Not the victim to where like, oh, because I'm down here, you know, it's hard for me to come up and stay down here. Right? Number 4, visualize success. Imagine where you want to be and get there. Just imagine if you want to be, just real quick, just if you want to be in a different country or in a whole different neighborhood, in a different state. I would suggest first try to visit those places and try to look into them before you go there. And then once you go there, and if you really like it, just imagine yourself being there and do what the hell it is that you want to do, so you get the hell up out the environment that you in. For example, I lived in Texas my whole life, and what I did was I visualized success, you know, after going to school or whatever, through my studies, and I left Texas, you know, 3 months after my graduation. I left Texas on the West Coast. So, with that being said, like, miracles come in through hard work and faith of the Most High, or faith within yourself. Number 5, take bold action. Escape the paralysis of self-pity and take it a day at a time. So no matter what you're going through, no matter how bad you feel, this and that, just understand that the pain is temporary. Take things a day at a time. You know, take whatever time that you need off. But however, I do not suggest you fall off. Take the time that you need off. Take a break. And get back on track. Take it a day at a time. You'll come back. Number 6, find solutions. Find ways to resolve an issue. What I mean by resolve an issue, which I talked about earlier, your vice. Your vice is something that is corrupt, or a certain way in which that is not necessarily bad to society, but you know, you feel like it's bad to yourself or whatever. You know, things that you're going through, this and that. So, let's say you have a certain friend that is toxic or whatever, but however, you like being around them because that's who you know, that's who you grew up with, and you feel comfortable. Although you feel comfortable around this person, but do you really feel comfortable because of the way they act or how they perceive life? You know, worse than, you know, your positive thoughts. Me, if it was up to me, not to deal with a person like that that's negative, and I had a positive thought to get about the situation that the person is thinking or doing, I would say they the problem. You know, I could talk to them and say, hey, find a better way. You know, as I can tell you a better way. But however, if they not listening, hey, I'm gone. You know, it was nice meeting you, whatever, this and that, and, you know, hey, I'm gone, you know, and, you know, it is what it is. But you're going to find better people, better quality people, and newer people along the way. So, finding solutions. Meaning to dissolve whatever problems that you have that's causing a bind or a hinder or a blockade from you being successful in life, or just keeping you from being successful. Right. Number 7, inspiration is your biggest company. Engage into more outside factors to rise above life. Plain and simple. Stay inspired. Stay looking at things. Try to get out and look into life for what it is rather than, you being in whatever you know. That thing might give you some sort of inspiration or something. But it cannot make you do it. You're inspired to do it. Inspired means that you'll go outside the box from what you know. Nobody can't make you do anything. They can't be like, oh, I made this person get out of this situation because I said this and that. They can't make you do it. You ain't felt inspired to do it, so you did it by yourself. Number 8, have self-compassion with elevated standards. Say it again. Have self-compassion with elevated standards. Be good to oneself and strive for excellence. When you be good to yourself and you striving for excellence, that means you're treating yourself with respect. You won't be in situations to where you feel down. And you want to strive to do whatever it is you want to do moving forward to where you can elevate to your higher self. Number 9, gain mental toughness. Practice calmness while under pressure. It's a lot of that going on. A lot of people be under pressure. Just stay calm. Don't let it get to you. And you're going to see eventually that all that under pressure stuff is going to make you resilient. Because why? You did the diligent part to where you stay under pressure and see what's going on. You become resilient because you felt good because you didn't make those bad choices. Last but not least, number 10, celebrate small achievements. Praise your victory with celebration, but yet don't be cocky. When you have an achievement, celebrate. Applaud yourself, give yourself praises that you did something small, because that's going to motivate you to want to go up even more. But yet, don't be cocky. Don't be cocky. Because being cocky is just like telling people that, hey, like, I'm a jackass and I'm better than everybody, or whatever case may be. And that's going to create conflict and drama. So don't be that person to, you praising, you praise your victory with celebration, and you being cocky, oh, because I done this little thing and you haven't done it, or, I feel like I know everything, this and that. You don't know everything. You can't know everything. It's so much going on. That's why we put on this world to work. When you're working, it's damn near no end. It's literally no end. You have to do what you have to do to grow. To be the best you can be. And each day you do the best you can be, you reach that little goal that you reached, celebrate. That's what life is about. So don't fall into this vice-ful temptations or whatever, because I've been through a vice-ful temptation. I feel like I was in an environment to where I feel comfortable in, but then again, it's like at the end of the day, those things wasn't worthy. It didn't bring me no kind of peace or nothing like that. Cause I hung around the wrong crowd to where, I got caught up in the mix, this and that. And it is literally no joke. It is no joke dealing with those type of people or whatever case may be. Because at the end of the day, I couldn't have made it to, my age or whatever. I'm 28. I didn't think I was gonna make it past 18. Not from the environment I'm from. I'm from the number 3rd worst neighborhood from Texas. Out of the top 10 worst neighborhoods, number 3 in the whole city of Houston. That should tell you something. If I can do it and I feel like I didn't have no hope to where I can get up out of it and leave those people behind that, you know, that wasn't really want to do anything for themselves, guess what? You can do it too. But anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here, you guys. Please comment down there in the comments to let me know what you think about the video. If it was inspirational, if it was motivational, or did you learn something, this and that. But before I get up out of here, if you did not remember anything that I said, remember this. Don't let your vice be your biggest withdrawal in life. I'm gonna say it again. Don't let your vice be your biggest withdrawal in life. And if you can remember that and debunk what that means, that is how you become supercharged. You'll become it in no time. So, if you're new, please like, comment, subscribe, and turn that post notification bell. With that being said, your boy, the Captain Mufasa, is out. Y'all have a good night. Bye.